So, what is the best way to navigate global markets today? Best in class companies like Louis Vuitton and Tesla are down more than 50%. You have a lot of experts on TV and in the newspapers telling you to run and hide. Well, we believe that we have seen this movie before. I'm Sandeep Nag and I run an investment firm called NAG Analytics. And I'm here to share with you our blueprint of what could happen in the global markets over the next 6 to 12 months. We believe there's a return potential of over 100% over the next 12 months. Why? Well, like I said before, we have seen this movie before. During Donald Trump's first term, that is when we first heard of a tariff war. We saw that Trump raised tariffs on China and a bunch of other countries, and on the back of that news, global markets, including the US, tanked. This is the S&P 500 chart from 2018-2019, which shows that the moment the tariff war was announced, we saw a significant decline of more than 20% in the S&P 500. And what happened after that? You had a V-shaped recovery. So let us share with you the blueprint of what we believe will happen today. This is the chart of the S&P 500 on 7th April 2025. As you can see, post April 2nd, in the last 5 days, the S&P 500 has completely tanked. We believe that we will again see exactly what happened in 2018, a V-shaped recovery. We believe that the downside from here is less than 7% and the upside is more than 30% over the next 12 months. And if you buy the right global monopolies, your return could be upwards of 100%. So let us tell you exactly why we believe a V-shaped recovery is about to happen. The first and foremost point is, why did Donald Trump do this? There is one beneficiary that emerges. That is, or they are, billionaire friends of Donald Trump. Take Elon Musk, for example. Elon Musk's company Tesla was going through a significant slowdown in the last couple of quarters on the back of competition from the Japanese car companies, the Korean car companies, the German car companies, and now the advent of the Chinese car companies. Well, guess what? With the new tariff duty structure, Tesla is going to be one of the lowest cost car manufacturers in the US. Tesla, as we speak, has a 4.5% market share in the US. And we believe that by the time Donald Trump's second term is over, Tesla could be at a 10% auto market share. When that happens, Tesla stock could easily double from here. This is not just about autos. It's the same for a whole bunch of companies in the US which will benefit because suddenly, out of the blue, they will be the cheapest manufacturer while selling to the US because everybody else has significant tariff duties. Another very interesting point that is getting us bullish here is that in the last few days when the S&P 500 fell 5% each day, companies like On Shoes, like Deckers, the guys who manufacture Hoka, were actually up 5%. This is classic. Towards the end of a significant sell off, very often the leaders tend to be monopoly companies or companies which are champions in what they do. So, an additional 5%, 10% sell off in the market doesn't affect these companies at all because they actually end up going higher. And we've started to see signs of that in the last couple of days. The other very interesting point is the April 2nd tariff deadline was very well known and advertised. A whole bunch of companies in the US and globally started to push sales in the months of February and March before the April 2nd deadline. So, what will happen? When the March quarter numbers come out towards the end of April, you will see a significant earnings surprise. You will see sales significantly higher than what Wall Street was expecting. So, an earnings surprise combined with rock bottom valuations will lead to the start of that V shaped recovery. A lot of people, experts and otherwise, will tell you that there is a recession risk in the US. It's true, there is a 25 to 30% recession risk in the US, but that is only if the Federal Reserve and the government does nothing. Let's not forget that current inflation levels are 3.1%, and the Federal Reserve has significant legroom to cut rates. As that happens, you will see not only a recovery in growth in the US, but you will also see a significant rally in the US stock markets. And that won't be a 1%, 2% day. When the Fed cuts rates, that will be a 5%, 6% up day in the US markets and perhaps even in global markets. The other thing that people forget, because people have a recent memory bias, is that the US today has the most pro business president ever. Now, he doesn't seem very pro business given his recent tariff move. But make no mistake, Donald Trump is very pro business when it comes to American companies, and more so when it comes to his billionaire friends. So we believe that if you discover monopoly companies in the US that are down 50% in the last 2 months, these companies have the potential to rally 100% over the next 12 to 24 months. Why? Because we have seen this play out exactly before in 2018. In 2018, when Tesla was down 50% and you bought it, over the next 2 years, you would have made over 200%. And we believe the same story is playing out now.